And I said, what are you really doing in your lives right now? Well, what's going on with each and every one of you? If you had to summarize it, where are your activities? Where your energy going to? What's your focus on? And I came up with one word. One word. I went to the Ascended Masters Club and I said, look what I discovered. And of course they oohed and awed because, I probably had more influence over more Ascended Masters than any other being. But, I'm going to stop for a moment and make a point. If you can't talk good about yourself and with a smile on your face, nobody's going to. And now the human is always so tender about, kind of raw and tender about. Well, I shouldn't boast about myself. Why not? It's fun. I like doing it. I'll even embellish the story if I have to a little bit, because you gotta laugh sometime. Humans are used to putting themselves down and diminishing themselves. That's not a master. That's not I am here. That's I'm a putz. And it's like, I am here. I'm a master. To really talk good about yourself. Do it with a smile, not energetically going after somebody, trying to prove. But it's like, damn, I actually taught, and this is true, I actually taught more humans, took them through the teachings to become ascended masters than any other being. And I should get an applause right now. I got to yawn. Mofo is yawning when I said that. Oh. Really talk good about yourself. Do it first with yourself. Just when you're out taking a walk or laying in bed at night, just make up a fun little story based on, obviously, on truth, but say, I was the best loser of all. That's not my story, that's your story. I had the most crooked path to enlightenment. All the rest of these enlightened masters, they had it so easy. I took the crooked path, Talk good about yourself. It's that simple. Next, do a big deep breath. Thank you. We'll talk a little bit then, Rob, but you're welcome to sit here if it just feels good being closer to a grand ascended master.
It feels wonderful.
It feels wonderful. Yeah, it feels so. You gotta talk good about yourself because nobody else is going to. Actually, I have a lot of people talking well about me now, but it only is because I talk well about myself. And it just makes you smile when you talk good about yourself. Yeah. When you talk bad about yourself, I'm a loser or nothing worse. It doesn't even feel good. Why do people do that? It doesn't. Try it once. Oh, I'm just a pathetic, loser. It doesn't even feel good. It doesn't attract the kind of energy that I'd be interested in. But you say, I am a master. And people look at you funny, but you know what? Then they start taking your pictures. And pretty soon you're on TV. And pretty soon you're a celebrity. It works. It's called reality basing. I'll get into that later. But I'm saying there's a history to this. There's a philosophical, spiritual belief in that. And most all believe that way. The few who did not were basically thrown out. We're all doing this for all of humanity. Well, an interesting thing happened. I came along. Truly, I was the first one to speak out against this on very, very practical terms. I remember the long debates that we'd engage in hundreds of years ago. I was actually a little unpopular for a very, very short period of time, believe it or not. And Shambra, yeah. Somebody's already on their email or Facebook or whatever. How can he be so arrogant? You know what? It's an act. And maybe you stop out of acting like such a deadhead. Oh. And I'm not talking to all of them. There's just one person out there. Oh, he's so arrogant. Why don't you stop acting like a bore, okay? You know who you are. It's all an act, you see? And if you act a little pompous, it's better than acting like, oh, I'm a victim. Try it. Act a little, yeah, life has been good to me, so I'm a little better. I don't care. It's just an act. And then, you know what happens? You act that way. It's like, okay, so I got more money than you, okay? And that's fine by me, not by you. And you start acting that way, and you know what? The energy gets delivered to you that way. It's kind of a weird thing. It's called, like, where's my book? I need a prop. Active consciousness. Yeah, somebody have, there you go. Yeah. It's the act of consciousness. It's all here. It's actually 150 pages. Interesting to note, about 10 of which are blank. Why do they do that? And it's all an act. You act like you're ready for ascension or enlightenment. Guess what? It's there. It's all an act. Some would argue that acting is not real. Oh, crap, look at you. That is an act, and it's not real, and it's really tiring now. And I'm not talking to all of you online. There's just that one. One that's Adamus. I'm going to write something bad on Facebook. It's all an act. And you can act any way you want. You can act eccentric, and you already do. You can act any way you want. You can act like you are so together. And even if that human part of you goes, oh, you're faking it. I don't care. So are you, stupid human part. You're faking it. I'm going to act like I'm really together, that I'm abundant. I'm going to act like my health is good, that I've got this youthful, vibrant body. It's all an act. And the moment you start believing that, well, you're faking it, the moment you start buying into your act as only a human of limitations, you got a long, long, long way to go. So, act, whatever, and act many, all at the same time. It's all at the same time. It's not singular. You can be many actors on your stage at one time, whatever you feel like. Where were we in our moment of distraction here? Just one at a time, don't everybody throwing this at me. Acceptance. Acceptance and acknowledgement. And acknowledgement. Yes. Which is an interesting thing in itself. How is one going to get acceptance or acknowledgement if they don't accept or acknowledge themselves? If you out there listening in here listening, if you have an acceptance issue, if you feel other people just don't accept me, they just don't understand me, it's because you don't accept or understand yourself. And did I hear somebody call out, oh crap? Yes, they want acceptance and acknowledgement. They're in this identity struggle to accept themselves. They try looking for it all the time from others. They most never occurs to them to look at it from within. So they're looking for acceptance. Do my parents accept me? Do my coworkers accept me? Does my wife or my husband accept me? Do average people on the street accept me? So they're constantly looking for that. They're looking for acknowledgement or validation. Acknowledgement that they're doing a good job. But if they don't think they're doing a good job as a human, nobody else is going to think they're doing a good job.